Against corruption and state capture is being held countrywide today. There are at least 13 marches in all 9 provinces. The main march is taking place in Johannesburg, where several roads have been closed to traffic in the CBD. The Labour Federation says workers are striking against state capture and corruption, which have led to economic decay and job losses. The main march is from Cosatu House in Braamfontein to the Joburg City offices to hand over memoranda before heading to the CBD. And stops are expected at the Department of Labour, FNB, the Premier's office and the Chamber of Mines to deliver more memoranda. Transport problems resulted in the start of the march being delayed.
We are marching to the state capture in the public services, in the private sectors. So I think we are covering all the spaces where we need to be marching to. None of them can really say, look, we are immune and there's no corruption happening within our ranks.
All right, well, the march is also underway in Cape Town. Our reporter Nomawethu Sowandle is there. Nomawethu, good afternoon to you. What's the mood like of the march there? And we believe one memoranda has already been handed over. What can you tell us about that?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Natasha. I can confirm that the march here in Cape Town started at around 11 o'clock this morning at Keizersgracht. It slowly moved down to one of the PRASA offices by the train station, where the workers actually handed over a memorandum to Metro Rail over a number of grievances that have a lot to do with trains and basically the public transport here in Cape Town, speaking to issues of trains being overloaded, people being injured on trains, and the fact that they're not safe anymore. People are being robbed on trains, and we know that it's workers that need to get to the CBD every day, Natasha, and those issues speak directly to them. They did hand over a memorandum of grievances to Metro Rail there this morning. Now we're actually in Adderley Street, and they're making their way to the provincial legislature. I'm just going to move out of shot so that you can actually see them. They're actually making their way down Adderley Street, making their way to the provincial legislature, where they're also expected to actually hand over a memorandum of grievances. You can see there Tony Ehrenreich leading the march. He is the regional secretary here in the Western Cape. Now, Tony Ehrenreich earlier in the week actually told us that they're expecting between 15 and 20,000 workers to be part of this march. But, you know, I can say that it's thousands, but definitely not between 15 and 20,000. I don't think they actually made those numbers. And as you can see behind me, the workers are making their way to the provincial legislature. We've seen workers from the municipal offices here. We've seen workers from Checkers. We've seen workers from ShopRite. So a lot of people have actually formed part of this march, and we know that they are protected. They did get a certificate from NEDLAC as part of Section 77. So every worker that has formed part of this march cannot be victimized. And basically what they're saying is that they are tired of corruption, and all the companies that form part of the state or that have had issues with corruption, they need to stop, and that they are standing up for their rights as workers and as poor people of the country. They are tired of people that are self-enriching themselves using state funds. As you can see, workers getting excited around me as they make their way through to the provincial legislature, where another memorandum will be handed over. I'm going to hand back to you to studio, Natasha. As you can see, workers getting really excited around me. With that, it's back to you in the studio, Natasha.
Nomawethu, thanks so much for that, handling those crowds very well. Our Nomawethu Sowandle live from Cape Town with an update on the march there. Let's bring it back to Joburg now. Our reporter Griselda Lewis, who is covering the mass action for us in Johannesburg, where crowds gathered at Cosatu House from around 10 a.m. this morning, and they're set to march to the city of Joburg, which is just up the road, and their last stop is expected to be at the Premier's office. So let's get a sense now of how things are going along that route or that leg of the march.
If he's afraid of you, we are coming back. Yeah. We are coming back. Comrades, can you help them, comrades? Allow the Sanko provincial chairperson to just say a few words before the provincial secretary of the federation reads a memorandum. Comrades, don't leave, Alliance, don't leave! Don't leave, Alliance, don't leave! Comrades, he is upfront here. Comrades, Mashaba must know our revolution is not a public speaking tournament. We must forever know it is not a battlefield of good prices. Mashaba must know this is a collective effort to transform reality. Mashaba must know it took us years to stand together to improve the life and the living condition of our people. That is why as Sanko we join all other forces to ensure that we don't want Mashaba anymore in this city. It is based on the following that we don't want Mashaba. Mashaba in the Nasia is killing people who are looking for help. Mashaba in the seat of Joburg is retrenching people and become a shareholder. Mashaba himself is xenophobic. Mashaba himself hates females. We therefore join Cosatu, the SABC and ILC to say we want our city back. We want our people back. Mashaba must go. Mashaba is equal to state capture. We are sick and tired of uninvited guests who arrive at the water cliff to ensure they do as they wish. It is because when the head of the fish gets rotten, the entire body gets a disaster. Therefore, comrades, let's be united. Let's ensure we improve the living condition of the people of Johannesburg. We don't want Mashaba. How on earth, if you look the delegation that came, none of you ask their citizenship. How on earth, if you look inside, who are these people? This is what we are doing at Johannesburg.
Chief, abuelo mravanya.
Finally, they've given us.
Let's deport Chinese.
Mr. Fong Kong here. We will not go into details, comrades, because the mayor was afraid. So he thought at least he must bring someone who knows karate. So we're not going to waste time, comrades. We'll just go straight to the demands. These are the demands that we are placing today before the city of Johannesburg.
Order, comrade, order.
That wandering statement of all those at work workers. Wandering statement of all workers who have been suspended in the licensing department. We are demanding that the city must respect the labor laws and adherence to recruitment policies. We are demanding a statement of free basic water and electricity in our city. We want the city to refrain from utilizing media and police and hawks on internal matters of the city of Johannesburg. It has also come to our attention, comrades, that the KPMG that is so corrupt is also doing work here in the city of Johannesburg. In the light of the above, comrade, therefore, we want the city to review all the reports that have been presented by KPMG, and also for them to end the contract with a corrupt auditors firm. We are demanding that comrade they must respond within 7 days of receipt of this particular memorandum. Those are the demands that we are placing in front of the city today. So, Mr. Lee, from Hong Kong, you can then sign this memorandum.
So he's the speaker, I'm told. Oh, he's not the speaker. Where's the gum?
Sign up, Papa. Sign up.
To sign here. Sign here. To 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 sign here. It's not a child's play to sign here. It's not a child's play. Who sign a more?
Sign up.
Who sign a more?
Sign up.
Who sign a more? Who sign a more?
From Cosatu workers. We heard just a few moments ago that Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba will not be coming to accept the memorandum of demands here at the very first stop of these Cosatu members and supporters on this march against state capture and what Cosatu says has been rampant looting as well as corruption, and that's what Cosatu says the message will continue to be as we move to our next destination. The MMC, Michael Sun, a member of the mayoral committee, who's accepted the memorandum of demands from the provincial leadership of Cosatu.
Leadership now going front of the town.
All right, live visuals there from the Johannesburg CBD outside the Mayor's office. Let's keep things in Johannesburg. We cross to our reporter Diabo Sito, who's at the Chamber of Mines, where marchers will also arrive to deliver a memorandum. And Diabo, while state capture and corruption are top of the agenda, many are marching for jobs. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Natasha. Well, right here at the Chamber of Mines is the very last stop for the Cosatu march that is currently taking place. According to its program, over and above marching to the banks such as the FNB City, the City of Johannesburg, the Premier's office, they will be also coming to the Chamber of Mines right behind me. And they will be delivering their own memorandum of demands to the Chamber, which the Chamber tells me that Mr. Stanford Malaji, who's the head of learning at the Chamber, will be accepting this memorandum. Earlier this morning, they issued a statement in support of this march against corruption, and they have put on the top of their list the issue of corruption within the Ministry of the Ministry of Mines and Resources that is led by Minister Msebenzi Zwane. In fact, they say that this mining charter, which our viewers may be already very familiar with the issue of the issues around the mining charter, which is currently in court now. The Chamber of Mines says that the charter itself carries with it strong indications of corrupt motives. They say that they have lost confidence in Minister Zwane and how he's running the DMR. They say that there's been very serious allegations, Natasha, of corruption against the minister and the DMR under his leadership, and these have not been cleared. So there seems to be confidence all round with regards to the issue of state capture and this issue of the issue of state capture and the issue of job losses and corruption. Like you've said in your intro, yes, a lot of these members will be marching to safeguard their jobs, especially with a lot of things that have come up with regards to the PIC, which is where a lot of their pension rests. So a lot of people have a vested interest, if I must put it that way, in this march. So we're expecting that at around 2 o'clock or just after lunchtime, the marchers will be gathering at this vicinity here, just outside the Chamber of Mines, to be delivering their own memorandum of demands. And of course, the SABC will be here to monitor that and to see who actually gives out the memorandum and what the issues are when it comes to the mining industry.
Diabo, thanks so much. For now, we'll leave it there. Diabo Sito outside the Chamber of Mines, where, as she says, the marches are expected. So quite a quiet scene there, but things will start heating up around lunchtime, as she said, where they will descend upon the Chamber of Mines to hand over their memoranda.